I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good day, Christian Rodwell. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful day?
Oh, Angel, I'm doing amazing today, and I'm so looking forward to the next 12 minutes speaking with you.
Hey, well, it definitely is a pleasure to have you today. Do tell us, what part of the world are you in right now?
So I'm just outside of London in the United Kingdom right now.
That's wonderful. And which of your talents, Christian, is responsible for us connecting at this time?
Well, I think it has to be my own podcasting skills, Angel, and I launched my own Escape the Rat Race radio show last year, and it went straight to number 2 on iTunes behind the mighty Tim Ferriss.
Sweet.
So I'd say definitely the podcasting.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, that is pretty fascinating. Congratulations for that achievement. Got to listen to the podcast as well. Where did you come up with the name?
Well, it's funny. I was always been a big fan of personal development, and like so many others, Rich Dad Poor Dad was one of the books that first really switched me on to changing the normal employee mindset. And I was looking around a website called meetup.com for groups which I could join, and I couldn't find too much. And so I just had this brainwave to set my own group up, and I called it Escape the Rat Race.
How did that go?
Well, it's been amazing. Yeah, in the first year, I had over 1,000 members join that group.
Wow.
And now we have a really thriving community with members all over the world now.
Oh, that's amazing. So Escape the Rat Race came from Kiyosaki. You know, one time I went to Barbados and I was staying not too far from the caves, right? The Harrison Caves, which is a big tourist attraction. And my friend and my wife and we started playing that game, right? Kiyosaki's board game.
Sure.
Cash Flow Quadrant, right? And my friend, we did not go to the caves because we were playing that game.
Well, it can be a long game, can't it?
Yeah, well, it's actually multiple games that we played. We played the entire day. Fun fact, my wife, who is not so much of the entrepreneurial individual, she won us every time.
Well, that just goes to show. Yeah, no, it's a really good game for anyone that hasn't played. Definitely seek out some other people with like-minded intentions and go and grab a copy. Yeah,
definitely fun. So who did you learn the skill of team play from? Because you could have done this by yourself, right? You could have gone and found the answers, but instead you definitely a team player. Tell us more.
Yeah, sure. So I guess with the podcasting, I taught myself, but I was partly inspired by the success of people such as John Lee Dumas, who I know has been a previous guest on your podcast, Angel. And I've always believed in having good mentors, and I like to refer to it as we are all on a stage across the bridge. So we're all kind of where we are right now, but we all have a destination that we want to get to. And some of us are a bit further along that bridge than others, but we should always have our hand stretched in front to the mentors, the people that have already walked the path that we want to walk, and we can learn from them. And then have your arms stretched out behind you as well, because there's always going to be people who are a bit further behind on their journey. Maybe they've just read books like Rich Dad Poor Dad and they're just discovering this world of personal development and entrepreneurship. So it's important to have your arms stretched out both ways so that you're being pulled along, but you're also able to share what you've learned so far and pull those others along with you.
Now, definitely what you're speaking of takes some pain, right? Some level of pain and awareness, if you would. Why will you continue to repeat that skill, Christian?
Well, I just love connecting with people. And through my podcast, I've been fortunate enough to have interviewed some very successful entrepreneurs, such as Roger Hamilton from the Entrepreneurs Institute, Dr. John Demartini, and Daniel Priestley, who's the author of Key Person of Influence. And for me, it's almost a guilty pleasure because I get to connect with people who I admire and I get to ask them questions which really I want to know the answers for. And I know that those answers will be really valuable for anyone else who's looking to break free of the rat race and actually start their own business as well.
Yeah, even your last guest, right? Rob Moore.
Wow,
that was pretty...
The disruptive entrepreneur.
Yeah, amazing conversation.
He's doing Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you ask some great questions, which is so important because I'm on the other side wanting to know more, and you're asking the exact question that I would want answered, which is so important as a podcaster, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. Yes.
Well, tell us one other thing you've done, Christian, consistently over the last 3 years.
Sure. Well, the one thing that I have done consistently every month has been running a monthly meetup event in London. And this has grown my community. And this is really where it all began for me, because I left my job, successful job in the music industry where I'd worked for almost all my life. And I'd got to a crossroads. I'd lost my passion for the music industry and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. So I just decided to quit, and it was a bit of a bold leap into the unknown. And what I did do is set up this meetup event just to connect with like-minded people, maybe other people who had just read Rich Dad Poor Dad and books like that, 4 Hour Work Week. And I just thought, hey, if 4 or 5 people come along to the first meetup and we can have a coffee and a chat, that would be cool. And now 40 people turned up to that first event and I was just blown away, and it was such a great evening. I met loads of new people and I said, well, hey, we've got to do this every month. And so I just run that event every month. And as I said to you earlier, in the first 12 months, over 1,000 members joined that community, and it's just continued to grow and grow from there.
How does it make you feel to know that something that could have been painful, something that could have been to your detriment, which is you leaving that job, has now turned into something so powerful?
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes me feel very proud, and I absolutely love making new connections and feeling rewarded by the kind comments that I receive from clients and from the speakers who I invite along to come to the events, as well as to what a great community of people we have. And I was growing tired myself of going to events where you were just sold to. It was just like pitch after pitch after pitch. Mm-hmm. And I never wanted Escape the Rat Race to be like that. I wanted it to be a place where people could learn, they could get inspired, and then they could choose which was the right path for them. And then I could connect them with mentors, with people who've got that experience and who have integrity. And it's not just about making money. It's really about building a safe environment where people can learn and then make the progress that they want to make towards their goals.
Yeah, I love that. So the thing that just popped out is there's no sense in escaping the rat race to then race the rat.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. Suggest to someone that's listening why they should do what you've done by surrounding yourself, specifically, Christian, in a model where you are giving and then receiving in return.
Well, it was shared with me by my mentor, Roger Hamilton, that you don't have a business when you have a product. You have a business when you have your first customer. So I think if you're someone who's looking to start up a new business, you're looking for different ways to generate an income, then the meetup event is a really good way to kind of test that and to validate your business idea, because you'll attract like-minded people and you'll be able to gauge if there's enough interest in what you're doing. And most importantly, you'll get feedback from other people with ideas that maybe you hadn't thought about. And I think you still can't beat the face-to-face meeting for building trust and rapport. And to be honest, the meetup event has been the foundation rock upon which Escape the Rat Race has been built.
Amazing audience. We are live with Christian Rodwell. Again, he is the podcast host of How to Escape the Rat Race. Christian, where's the best place for us to connect with you?
Well, I'd love to invite anyone who'd like to connect to join the Escape the Rat Race private Facebook group. And you can do that by visiting www.etrr.online/Facebook.
Love it. Christian, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful warm blue Caribbean water. Christian, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Yeah, well, I really had to think hard about this. So I think it's actually sat in my old school pram being pushed along the street by my mum on a rainy day, and I had like that clear plastic pulled over, and I was kind of all like cozy inside, and I think that's the earliest memory.
Wow, how old do you think you were?
Oh, I mean, I guess about 3 or 4 years old, yeah.
Why do you think this memory is clear, and how do you see it connecting to who you are today?
Yeah, well, I really have no idea why that memory is so clear, but I still kind of like being cozy inside whilst it's raining outside. So maybe that's where it all began.
That's intriguing. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Sure.
From our conversation, you shared the value of a mentor and how he helped you, even how he helps you understand that you do not have a business until you have a customer. And I'm intrigued by the giving aspect of what you've spoken of, how you expressed it's so important to have your hands stretched forward and as well stretched backward for those that need your help. And I love the idea of the picture where your mother has her hands stretched, just pushing you in that pram, right? And bringing the value to your life. Now to see you come full circle to bring the value to others and their lives, to ensure that they're comfortable in the rain, right? When the rain is pouring, when there are challenges, that they be comfortable is pretty intriguing to me.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. If we fast forwarded to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Well, it's funny you asked that, Angel, because in the UK, we have a popular compilation album, which is called Now. That's what I call music. And I noticed a billboard yesterday that was advertising Now 98 is released. And I remember buying Now 12 as my first ever vinyl album at the same time that I was purchasing Michael Jackson Bad. So that was kind of my 12 years old music memory.
It's amazing how it connects, right? I mean, we do love the number 12 here, 12-minute convos, now 12.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's crazy.
It is amazing, my friend. Well, Christian, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Christian?
I'm ready.
Christian, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Well, I'm passing on my skills every day, but I'm most looking forward to passing my skills on to my children when they arrive.
How many children do you have?
I don't have any
yet.
Yet.
When they arrive. My apologies.
Yes,
All right. Are you married?
I'm not yet.
All right. Do you believe in God?
Well, there's definitely something funky going on up there, but I'm not giving the credit to any one person just yet.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Absolutely, yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No, I don't.
How about 3 hours a week?
I don't watch any TV, but I occasionally stream from Netflix.
Yeah, tell us about screen time, the phone and or the computer. Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's more than 8 hours a day, and it's quite often 12 hours plus.
Christian, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
I'd say that I am unique because nobody has exactly the same knowledge, connections, or experiences that I do. And the same can be said for every single person on this planet. We all have something to offer. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Love it. Don't let anyone tell you different. Christian Rodwell, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, firstly, I would like to thank you, Angel, for inviting me to be a guest on the 12-Minute Convo podcast today. And if your listeners have enjoyed the last 12 minutes and would like to join my Escape the Rat Race community, then I'll remind them again that they can head over to www.etrr.online/Facebook and enjoy the conversations that we're having there every day.
Love it. Christian Rodwell, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.